Can you please call the names of the resource persons present here?
Your Honor, if I may proceed. Your Honor, from the Commission on Audit, we have Attorney Melissa San Miguel Salunga, Supervising Auditor, DOT Audit Group. DOTR Audit Group, I'm sorry. Kindly raise your hand, please, if you're here. There. Ms. Ninita Vitalion, as Audit Team Leader, LTO. Thank you. They are assisted by Ms. Jenny Lynn Gonzalez, Audit Team Leader also. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, the chairperson is represented by Attorney Anne Kathleen Daguro, Supervising Securities Review Counsel. Attorney Daniel Luis Macalino, Chief Counsel, Enforcement and Investor Protection Department. Attorney Mary Grace Angan, Securities Counsel 2. And Miss Annette Isabel Tamayo, Securities Specialist. From the Department of Transportation, we have the Honorable Secretary Jaime J. Bautista. He is accompanied by Mr. Kim Robert De Leon, Undersecretary for Administration and Finance, Jesus Ferdinand Ortega, Chairman Office of Transportation Cooperatives, and Attorney Jonathan Hesmundo.
Attorney Ortega, can you be seated together with the other resource persons? Wala na bang upuan? Please proceed.
We also have Attorney Rainier Paul Yebra, Undersecretary for Legal Affairs and Chief of Staff of the Department of Transportation. From the Land Transportation Office, we have the Honorable Attorney Hector Villacorta, OIC Chief, LTO, Assistant Secretary for
Acknowledge the
Communication.
arrival of Senator J.B. Ejercito, also a member of this committee. Proceed.
We have Attorney Teofilo Guadis, former Chief of the LTO and currently Chairman of LTFRB. And Mr. Claudio Bonsol, former LTO Mid-Project Management Chief.
What about former ASEC Togade? Is he here?
He's not here, Your Honor. We had contacted him through the former office that he was connected with. We requested them to forward to him the letter's invitation, but he has not
Proceed.
responded yet. From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, we have Mr. Jethro Sabriaga, OIC Assistant Commissioner, Large Taxpayers Service.
What about ASEC Galvante?
The same situation, Your Honor, with ASEC Edgar Galvante. We also sent notices to him through the office that he former.
What about the rest of the names below the name of ASEC Galvante?
Yes.
All of them are absent? Antigua,
One
Petilla?
moment, sir. Yeah, yes, Your Honor. They're not also present, Mr. Rector.
So from number 10 to number 14, all absent?
Except Bonsol, Mr. Chairman.
Proceed.
From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Mr. Jethro Sabriaga, OIC Assistant Commissioner, Large Taxpayer Service. He is here together with Mr. Antonio Mangubat, Revenue District Officer number 28 Novaliches, Ms. Bathsheba Bautista, Revenue District Officer number 39 South Quezon City, and Ms. Mary Ann Canare, RDO number 41 Mandaluyong City. They are here together with Mr. Sabriaga, Your Honor. We also have, from the same office, Revenue District Officer number 43, Pasig City, Linda Grace Sagmun, Mr. Simplicio Cabantac, RDO number 67 of Legazpi City, Olivia Aviles, RDO number 49 Makati City. She's there, yeah. Brianna Katie De Los Santos, Assistant Chief Legal and Legislative Division of the BIR.
Daming tiga BIR. Yun sa joint venture, yun ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor. At
Proceed.
different tax jurisdictions.
Proceed.
And then Mr. Raymond Ipio, Southern Chief Legal and Legislative Division, Your Honor. From Dermalag, we contacted them through their SEC email address. They are here. I mean, Mr. Mall and Ms. Ocampo are not here, but the company has sent a lawyer.
Lawyer? Who is the lawyer? What happened to your clients? They are in Germany. So were you authorized to represent them? Do we have a written authorization?
As of now, Mr. Chairman, because precisely as explained by the
So
Your-
wrong address.
No, Your Honor. Your Honor, we sent the notices to an address that was supplied to the Securities and Exchange Commission. We relied on a government document where the address was located. And then the lawyer came here and I told him a while ago that we had to rely on that government required
So
address that you
How were you
submitted.
notified? How were you notified, counsel?
Your Honor, please, was notified because
Isn't that part of your professional responsibility that upon receipt of a notice, the counsel, you should have informed immediately your client, your principal? But you're here. You're here. You were notified by the external auditor. You should have notified your principal. Why are you here? So who notified you?
Your Honor, from our point.
I won't argue with you, but part of your professional responsibility is to notify your principal because you were notified. And either directly or indirectly. That's why you're here.
I'm only here to observe it. Our joint venture partners were notified.
So notification on the part of the council is notification to the principal likewise. That's the advice of this chair. Notify your principal. I don't argue with you. Notify your principal immediately that we are conducting a hearing. We will have a second hearing and we will place you in contempt if you don't produce your principal here. Understood?
In Germany.
You may sit down. Next.
From Holy Family Printing Corporation, Your Honor, an invitation was sent to Mr. Leopoldo Gomez, but they sent an excuse letter seeking a 10-day extension of the time to submit a counter affidavit and also to inform us through their lawyers that the principal, Mr. Gomez, will not be able to attend today, Your Honor.
The lawyer present here? I understand they submitted an affidavit, a sworn statement. I have in possession here a photocopy of the letter coming from the council. Vasquez, Bitanya, and Sibal Pulido law offices.
Yes, Your Honor. That's the same letter that I am looking at, Your Honor.
Same principle, same provision of your code of professional responsibility. Notification to the lawyer should likewise entail responsibility on the part of the council to notify the principal immediately. Next.
Your Honor, the next is from Microgenesis Software Inc., Ms. Rosana Choa. A letter was also sent to the committee by Counsel Paul Cornelius Castillo stating that said person, Apple Sanchez, is abroad, but she promised that he promised on her behalf that she will be present in the next hearing.
Council, Council of the Blue Ribbon, you're directed by the chair to seek a validation from the Bureau of Immigration that indeed the said principal went abroad. The same is true with the principals of Dermalog. So
Yes,
director,
Yes, Your Honor.
proceed.
From Stradcom Corporation, Mr. Anthony Kiambao, President and CEO.
Here. Thank you.
From Versontal Infrastructure Corporation, Mr. Silvestre Slice Natividad, President. And Mr. Dennis Macandog, CEO.
Who else? Other additional witnesses or resource persons?
No more, Your Honor. Those are the persons who are present today, Your Honor.
Committee Secretary, you're directed to administer the oath to
Those,
those present here. Please rise.
may I proceed, Your Honor? Those who are here, please rise. Those whose names are also called, please rise. Kindly raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Your Honor made a state that all said I do. Thank you. You may take your seats.
Thank you. Ang atin pong dinidinig ngayon ay patungkol sa dalawang resolusyon. Senate Resolution 147 na nagmula kay Senator Aquilino Pimentel, a resolution directing the Senate Committee on Accountability of the Blue Ribbon to conduct an investigation in aid of legislation on the alleged undue payment given by the Land Transportation Office to the joint venture of Dermalag Identification System, Holy Family Printing Corporation, Microgenesis, and Versontal Builders. The second Senate resolution is Senate Resolution 348, introduced by Senator Amy Marcos, resolution directing the appropriate Senate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation into the alleged corruption involving the Road Transportation IT Infrastructure Project of the Land Transportation Office or the LTO. Ang atin pong diringgin ngayon ay patungkol sa nasabing dalawang Senate resolutions na final ni Senators Pimentel and Amy Marcos. We will not be ascribing any wrongdoing. We'll dig into the facts. We will not be issuing any legal opinion likewise during these proceedings. At the end of the proceedings, the committee will have a committee report which would entail the production of remedial legislation as well as possible filing of cases to the appropriate government agencies. Subalit ngayon, ang kailangan po nating marinig ay yung katugunan kung bakit una, nabayaran ng isang serbisyo na di umano hindi pa tapos, may deliver lahat yung dapat gawin, 80%, sangayon sa aking mga datos. Pangalawa, bakit patuloy pang nahihirapan ang ating mga kababayan, mga driver, sa pagguha ng lisensya, napakaraming backlog. Pangatlo, bakit hindi pa rin naisa sa katuparan yung IT roadmap na halos 8 bilyon dapat? Bakit hindi pa rin maayos ang interconnectivity na matagal ng pinlano at matagal ng nabigyan ng kaukulang pondo? Panlima, masagot din yung mga red flags na binigay ng Commission on Audit. Kung nandito yung Commission on Audit, ilalabas natin mamaya yan. And the procedure that we would be following is this. First, we allow the proponents, Senators Pimentel and Marcos, to have their introductory statements. Thereafter, we'll have Senator Grace Poe and then Senator J.B. Ejercito. And in the order of questioning, we will question first. We will have a manifestation coming from the appropriate agency, in this case, the Department of Transportation. Thereafter, the LTO. Thereafter, take note of this, COMSEC. Thereafter, COA. And then we will hear from SEC, primarily on the question of whether a joint venture would have to be registered. After SEC, we'll hear from the Bureau of Internal Revenue as to whether the appropriate taxes were paid. And then we will hear from the private resource persons, Dermalog, at here, the other members of the joint venture, and then finally from Stratcom. Maliwanag po yun? So, we can now ask Senator Pimentel.
Thank you. Thank
Any
you, Mr.
introductory statement, Your Honor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief because I'm online lang, Mr. Chairman. Una sa lahat, salamat po, Mr. Chairman, for acting immediately on the resolution I filed. And from our research, I think we need also to congratulate the COA, the Commission on Audit, because if not for their report, this matter or these matters or issues would not have been brought to our attention formally. Although, what made us really file the resolution, Mr. Chairman, was or were the complaints that we have received from the stakeholders or from the public transacting with the LTO. Kaya po tayo talagang napafile na ito resolution para malaman natin ano bang punot dulo nito. And then, in the process of finding out what really has happened, ang nakita po natin na ang ugat nito ay meron palang NEDA ICC approved project to the tune of around 8 billion pesos for a anong tawag na, original information technology software program for the LTO. So, ito na ngayon ang resulta ngayon. So, and the issues na nakita ko po, Mr. Chairman, and hopefully ma-pursue natin sa hearings natin, was that there was apparently a splitting of the project. So, one issue. And then there were delays in the implementation of the project. I think not less than 3 years of delay ito, and there were numerous extensions given to the contractor. So isa pangalawang issue po yun. And there were advance payments made. Kailangan natin malaman ngayon kung fully paid na po ba ito, because the general principle under existing laws would be government should not pay yet for the contracts, especially if these have not been delivered or are not fully functional or functioning as intended. So, and then number 4 issue would be there have been some unjust payments which are not called for or justified, or maybe even overpayment. And then siguro one issue that we should not also overlook is how these contracts or this project or the splitting of this project has affected the operations of the LTO. Kasi marami po akong reklamong natanggap. Okay. But to the credit of the LTO, para rin maging patas tayo, meron din naman ako mga good news na mga good feedback na natanggap that, that the transaction was very smooth and swift. But overwhelmingly, reklamo po ang mas marami kong natanggap na masyadong mabagal, magulo, at inulit ang proseso yata. I think the old information or all the old data was not even made accessible under this project, Mr. Chairman. So, once again, Mr. Chairman, salamat po for acting immediately on our resolution, and we are here to find out the truth without prejudging anything. Salamat po. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Minority Leader. Senator Grace po, may we hear your introductory statement if you have one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for hearing this issue that affects millions of our countrymen. We all know that digitalization is the future of government transactions. Ngunit ang digitalization ng LTO ay tagtad pa rin ng lumang problema gaya ng backlog sa vehicle plates at license cards, mabagal at unserviceable na portal, mahabang pila, at matagal na turnover ng serbisyo. Bagamat may mga magagandang feedback sa ibang LTO offices, ang LTO digitalization plan ay chaotic pa rin. Kumbaga sa computer software, nasa beta phase pa rin. Ang laging nirarason ng LTO ay problema kay Dermalog. Pero sabi naman ng Dermalog, ayaw daw gamitin ng LTO ang features ng bagong Land Transportation Management System, LTMS. Halos kalahating dekada na ang bangayang ito sa pagitan ng LTO at Dermalog. Problema din ang dating service provider na Stradcom dahil patuloy pa rin nating binabayaran dito ang utang na minana pa sa nakaraang mga administrasyon. Kasabay nito, nagbabayad din tayo ng maintenance fees sa Dermalog para sa LTMS. We are paying for 2 providers but availing the service of 1. Ano bang update dito? Has Stradcom finally and completely turned over the database to Dermalog? If not, what is LTO doing? Ayon din sa COA, tinanggap na lang ng LTO ang core applications ng LTMS at binayaran ng Dermalog despite issues with the processes and functionalities. Is LTO aware of these deficiencies prior to acceptance and payment? Mukhang nagpabaya na naman ang ahensya dito. We also want to hear from Dermalog, whose reputation is now being questioned, not only in the Philippines, LTMS, but for its services in other countries. Nagkakaproblema daw sa Indonesia, Haiti, at Angola ang biometric system nila. Ano na naman ang status sa LTO? Mr. Chairperson, we thank the committee for finally hearing the issues hounding the LTO's digitalization plan. Para naman matuldo ka na ang issue nito, ilang bilyon na ang binabayaran natin dito pero hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin natin matanggap ang tunay na benepisyo na dapat ginagawa ng mga kontratang ito. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Grace po. Senator J. Versito, your introductory statement, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Anyway, I'm here also to listen because this is really disturbing also, Mr. Chair, because our government has been spending so much in investing in the computerization, digitization. No, magkakaroon po tayo ng sistema, papalitan, tapos ganito ang nangyari. No? That, I think this is what really happened with regards to LTO's computerization. Kaya nagkakaganto-ganto problema sa license, plate number at lahat na. Because we want to find out what was the reason why there was a change of system. Stradcom was I don't know, 2003 pa yata ito. And then it was changed to Dermalog, supposedly to improve, but there's no improvement at all. It's really disturbing yung mga sinabi po ni Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Grace po, that there were really shortcomings. No? Hindi po nakapag-deliver ang Dermalog, but we are already paying. I mean, ang naano ko, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask later on, meron ako nakita dito, we're already paying for maintenance. The government is already paying for the maintenance for Dermalog, ganong hindi pa natatapos, nadi-deliver ng buo yung sistema. So maraming there's a lot of things that have to be clarified, no? And I agree with you, Mr. Chair, that dapat yung representative Dermalog should be here, no? They should be compelled to be present next hearing. At hindi po biro, Mr. Chair, ang perang ginastos natin dito is about 8 billion we're talking about. So I would like to commend Chairman, the chair for for scheduling this hearing right away, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ejercito. The committee secretariat is instructed to get the real address of Dermalog, so that for the next hearing, Dermalag will be present. I would like to shoot the first question. Walk us through, Secretary Bautista. Walk us through. Ano po ba itong road transportation infrastructure? That's one. And number two, yung talagang sasagutin natin tanong dito, marami nakikinig pong kababayan tayo. Nagbayad na ba tayo bago na kumpleto yung proyekto? At bakit? I think you can answer that. Secretary Bautista, you have the floor. And our undivided attention likewise.
Thank you po, Chairman Tolentino. No? On your question about the LTO Infrastructure and Information System project, it was originally conceptualized by then the Department of Transportation and Communication, now the OTR, as early as 2010. No? It was approved by the Investment Coordination Committee of the National Economic and Development Authority Board on March 22, 2012, and the corresponding multi-year contracting authority, or MICA, was issued by the Department of Budget and Management on December 12, 2012, amounting to 10,800,477,242 pesos.
Secretary, it's 10 billion, not 8 billion.
10 billion po ang inapruban ng Department of Budget and Management in 2012, no? Covering the period po from 2013 to 2022, no? During the procurement process, the project was divided into two components as follows, no? Yung first component po is the LTO frontline services with an approved budget of 3.4 billion pesos, no? And it was entered into po in favor of the joint venture of Dermalog Identification Systems, Holy Family Printing Corporation, Microgenesis Software Corporation, and Bersontal Builders Incorporated. Yan po yung first component. No? The second component po is the LTO for LTO internal operations, no? Amounting to 2,631,432,632.81 in favor of various suppliers covering various lots or deliverables. No? So ang total amount po is 5,758,424,629.20 centavos. No? This fund po was downloaded from DOTR to LTO. No? Ang pinanggalingan po nito ng source po ng fund is from the General Appropriation Act of 2015 amounting to 198 million pesos, 2016 2.5 billion pesos, 2017 2.3 billion pesos, 2021 1.2 billion, for a total downloaded amount price po or money of 5.195 billion pesos, no? Downloaded from the OTR to LTO. No? In order to fully cover the total contract obligation of the two components, LTO required an additional allotment of 583,380,000, which may be charged against the available 1.2 billion under the General Appropriation Act of 2022. Yan po ang pinanggalingan nitong programa po ng LTO Infrastructure and Information Systems Projects, no. And ang nabayaran po sa first phase, yung LTO frontline services, ay inabot po ng 2.311 billion, no? From the original contract amount of 3,146,991,996, meron pong nabayaran from 2019 up to June 30. Ang first payment po was on August 11, November 8, 2019 for 1,066 million pesos or 67 million pesos. And then 2020, 131 million. That was December 1, 2020. December 21, 2020, 131 million pesos. No? In 2018 po, merong dalawang payment in February, 72 million, 98 million. No? Ang total po na nabayaran until 2020, last payment po was on June 30, 2022, no? For 55 million, for a total payment po of 2,311,345,106. Yan po ang lahat ng nabayaran ng LTO sa Malog.
Thank you, Secretary. Secretary, I have here in my possession a sworn statement dated June 7, 2023, yesterday, signed by Jaime J. Bautista. Is this your affidavit, Secretary?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Comsec, can we make this as Exhibit A for the committee Exhibit A? In the said sworn statement which you executed yesterday, you mentioned something about the request, one of the duties of DOTR under the memorandum agreement is the request for the updating of the MYOA. Ano po yung MYOA?
Yun ho yung
Multi-year
multi-year obligation authority.
Yes.
Multi-year obligation authority.
Correct. And under existing laws, MYOA would require presidential approval. Am I correct?
DBM po, approval po.
Not presidential approval? I think it has got to be approved likewise by the president. So is there any approval coming from
requested.
the president, or do you have any copy of an approval coming from the DBM?
No approval yet, Your Honor, no, but we have requested po from NEDA their approval or the recommendation to approve this MYO.
So hindi pa rin na-approve but nagbabayad tayo, di ba? Nagbabayad. And under also your sworn statement, it would appear na ang nag-i-implement talaga is the LTO,
Opo,
not the department.
yes.
So this was decentralized. This was decentralized as early as 2018. So LTO na yung may hawak, contrary to your existing policies right now, which would entail centralization of, ano po yung threshold amount?
50 million po.
50 million sa department level na po yan,
For review po ng department.
for review.
Yeah.
Pero under this agreement, memorandum agreement, napunta po sa LTO na decentralized. Nung kayo po ay umupo, hindi ba ho sinentralize nyo ulit? Hindi nakasama to?
Hindi po ito kasama. Kasi it's already being implemented, no?
So even though the balance is more than 50 million, LTO na rin.
Opo.
Awarded na kasi, sir.
So that,
Awarded na po sa kanila, no?
but payment has not yet been completed. Payment
Yes.
has not yet been completed.
Hindi pa po. Hindi pa.
So lumalabas po dito na ang department ay hindi talaga ang may hawak ng nag-oversee lang kayo pero binigay supervision and control kayo over the LTO pero yung binigyan nyo ng freedom of action. Ano po ibig sabihin nito? Initiative and freedom of action
It's under
has always been encouraged with the DOTR's sectoral agencies. This is number 7 of your sworn statement.
Yes po, opo.
So ini-encourage nyo yung initiative and freedom of action but a while ago you admitted na sinecentralize nyo yung 50 million above
Actually po, yung centralization is only for review.
review.
For review lang po. So they are the ones doing everything, but we want the department to know what they are doing, no?
So that's your interpretation of initiative and freedom of action.
Mhm.
Okay, so you stand by your sworn statement issued for 24 hours ago.
Yes, sir.
So again, my second question, which is probably direct to the point. Bakit po nakapagbayad nang hindi pa tapos yung proyekto?
LTO na, sir.
Ang LTO po siguro ang dapat sumagot nito, no?
No,
Yung
but
pagbabayad.
before LTO answers, ginawa ko yung pecking order kanina. Yung pagbabayad po ng advance would now entail presidential approval. Meron tayong batas doon.
Mm.
Kailangan po ng approval ng Office of the President.
Yun,
Advance payment, sir.
advance payment po. ng
Advance
contract.
payment, opo. So pag nagbayad tayo, kailangan may presidential approval. Sa inyo po bang patakaran, dumidiretso ang LTO sa Office of the President o dumadaan sa ang secretary po ang dapat mag-request sa Office of the President?
Milestone payment.
Yung contract po natin na ginawa ng LTO and Dermalog, ang payment po is based on certain milestone, no?
Hindi po
Ah.
advance payment.
Hindi po siya advance payment. No?
My question has something to do whether the performance made by the other party is sufficient enough to entail an appropriate payment.
Payment. Mhm, mhm.
Kagaya po ng sinabi ni Senator Grace po na hindi pa nakalagay din dito sa inyo sa inyong affidavit number 8, we reiterate that no project is perfect. So kahit hindi pa ho tapos ito, minarapat na bayaran dahil yun sa kontrata. Tama mo ba yun?
Ganun po. Yes po. Opo.
Kaya na-flag down ng COA. Senator Pimentel, do you have a question? Parang wala. Senator Grace,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, we cannot see your face. Ayan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you po. Thank you po. Basta ang nakukuha ko, klaro kay Secretary, na hindi pa fully paid ang Dermalog. And if we look at the total amount paid to the Dermalog joint venture, it is around 2 billion plus.
2.3 po.
2.3, apa. So sa mata ng ahensya at ng departamento, tayo po ba may utang na sa Dermalog joint venture? Utang kasi 3 plus billion po yata itong ating kontrata, 3.1 billion if I'm not mistaken.
Your Honor, meron hong balanse pero lumalabas dito sa record na meron pang hindi na deliver ang Dermalog.
Okay. So yung ating palang in order na software system sa Dermalog joint venture could function even if hindi pa siya fully delivered Ganun po ba ang pagka-design ng ating software na hinihingi?
Ang lumalabas po, merong mga applications na functioning, no? And
Correct.
merong mga applications that still need to be completed, no? Pero
Correct.
kung doon sa mga functions na already are available, no? Ginagamit na po ito ng LTO, no?
So in that sense, Mr. Secretary, we can say na uh, separate or compartmentalized po yung mga applications. I mean sa standalone, one core application can function even if another core application is not yet finished. Ganun po ba ang pagka-design ng ating software na in order?
Yun po ang lumalabas dun sa result ngayon, ano? Meron pong mga functions, merong mga functionalities that are already available, no? But there are also some other functionalities that need to be completed, no?
Oo nga, ganun po nga. Pero that means to say the LTO and of course the department which has supervision over the LTO is your department. Meaning to say yung LTO was happy or satisfied with the some of the core applications already delivered in their function. Ganun po ba yun?
For example po, yung issuance ng license, no? Maganda po yung naging resulta, no? You can get your driver's license in 15 minutes to 30 minutes, no? Unlike po nung past na medyo matagal, no?
Okay po, pero meron din kasing reklamo na matagal nga daw. So better pay attention to those complaints kasi kami naman as elected public officials, we also react to the public's feedback given to us. Meron pong sa COA report. That's why I want to congratulate COA kasi kung wala itong COA report, kulang po yung aming source of information. Meron pa daw 70 open issues dun sa LTMS version 2.3.0. And then meron pa daw 25 issues concerning the core applications which have remained unresolved as of December 9, 2021. So, kumusta po yung mga so-called unresolved issues or open issues as of today, Mr. Secretary?
Maybe we can ask LTO to respond, no?
Sure.
Through the chair.
Who is the LTO now?
Uh,
Who is supposed to be the LTO?
Sinong pwedeng sumagot sa LTO?
Isn't it a fact that we have a new OIC for the LTO?
Ang OIC po natin si ASEC Hector Villacorta, no?
Is he
But this can
knowledgeable
be
now?
answered po by Mr. Claudio Bonsol, no?
Mr. Claudio Bonsol is the assistant OIC? Ano?
Hindi po.
MID.
MID chief po. Siya information po. Management information.
This and you're under oath. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. Regarding po dun sa question na whether na-address na po yung mga issues sa version 2.3 to point something po. Kasi we recently launched po yung aming version 2.5.1 addressing a lot of issues po. Sa ngayon po kasi ang na lang po namin is yung aming nagiging kumbaga ini-implement po is yung LTMS initial registration po. Konsya po sir, ito na po yung aming ini-implement ngayon.
What is initial registration?
This is the sir, car initial registration po.
Kotse.
Opo. Ito na lang po yung remaining module na kailangan namin tapusin. Nagpa-parallel testing, nagpa-parallel implementation na po kami.
You're referring to brand new cars or even second-hand cars?
Brand new cars po.
Go ahead. Yun na lang ang kulang. Pakatapos,
completed na po ang LTMS.
Your Honor, Senator Pimentel, would
Yes,
that suffice?
siguro malaman natin yung ano, kasi 3.1 billion pesos itong in-order natin na software na ginawa specifically supposed to be for the LTO's needs and functions. And there are so-called core applications. Dapat malaman siguro natin ano ba 'yon na driver's license. Kasi sa sagot ni ng ating resource person, Mr. Chairman, merong difference yata ang renewal kaysa sa first time registration eh. So ano ba 'yon sa driver's license? Original registration, kasali ba diyan renewal, and then sa motor vehicle, ano pa ba yung mga core applications na in-order natin para yung mga marurunong sa software, yung merong exposure sa software, malaman nila kung reasonable ba yung charge para dun sa mga applications na ibibigay po ng Dermalog.
Mr. Chair,
In due time siguro, Mr. Chairman, malalaman natin yan. I give way to Senator Grace Poe, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Grace Poe, you're recognized.
thank you to the minority leader. Just an enjoiner, may puntong minority leader. Kasi hindi naman tayo talaga technical dito, but we're trying to see if the money of the people is actually properly spent. So LTMS stands for exactly the meaning of LTMS is Land Transportation Management System. So ano ba ang mga kasamang deliverables dito? Kagaya nga ng sinabi ni Senator Coco Pimentel, ano ba yan? License, renewal, registration, new registration of cars. Can you please enumerate for the body what will be included in these deliverables of Dermalog?
Will answer. Is it Secretary Bautista or the LTO representative? LTO, can you answer?
The LTMS po, or the Land Transportation Management System po, consists of 7 core modules. The driver's licensing system, the revenue collection system, the online application and appointment system, the executive information system, the motor vehicle inspection and registration system, and then the law enforcement and traffic adjudication system,
So all
and
of
the
that,
public portal po.
so lahat yan kasama dito sa sistemang ito. Dapat nagagawa ito ng LTMS. At sinasabi mo, isa na lang ang kulang nila. Ano nga yung kulang na yon?
Sa motor vehicle sa MBIRS po, isa po siyang parang sub-module po ng MBIRS, which is the initial registration. Pero actually, this motor vehicle initial registration system po was already delivered na po based on TOR. What we are implementing na lang po ngayon is the enhanced version.
Ano yung enhanced version?
The enhanced version po is with additional functionality na hindi po present doon sa naunang version, which is nasa sa TOR po.
Okay, so kunyari ako magpaparehistro ng sasakyan na bago, dito na ako dadaan sa portal na to.
Come again po, ma'am.
Kung magpaparehistro ng bagong sasakyan, dito na dadaan sa LTMS system na to. Pwede na to online.
Hindi pa po siya online. Sa ngayon po, ang nangyayari pong registration is on-site pa rin po.
So
Pero
on-site,
Opo.
pero mas mapapabilis dito sa sistema na ito.
Opo, kasi centralized na po yung system. At the same time po, mas mabilis na po yung proseso niya ngayon kasi may mga additional functionalities po.
Okay. Matanong ko lang, Mr. Chair, kasi dati na rin ito naging issue. Dati nagkaroon ng sinasabi na pagkukulang o magkukulang ang pag-issue ng driver's license. Alam ko, narinig niyo yon dahil nga daw hindi naagapan ang pag-procure dito, kaya yung mga driver's licenses ay magiging temporary pa lamang. So, Ang tinuturo nilang dahilan ay iba-iba. Merong mismanagement ng LTO leadership, meron din nagsasabi dahil daw sinentralize na ang procurement above 50 million for LTO to for DOTR to give a go signal and to study, nagkaroon tuloy ng delay dahil ang DOTR ay hindi daw nag-release kagad ng approval. So may I ask directly from our secretary what the issue is here, because it seems that there was a resignation in the LTO precisely because of this, I don't know, disagreement, miscommunication. So number one, I'd like to know
May mga
who
dates
actually
ka.
dropped the ball. Number two, I'd like to know, is there really going to be still backlog on the issuance of new driver's licenses? Because I think these are all connected with the type of services being provided by the DOTR and the LTO.
Secretary Bautista, you can reply.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, yun pong procurement ng ID license po should have started as early as August of 2022 po, no? When the NEP was submitted to Congress, no? Pwede na pong mag-start yung early procurement ng mga ID cards, no? Unfortunately po, hindi po nagawa yan ng LTO, no? And noon pong January 25, 2023, we issued a special order, no? Requiring the sectoral offices of the Department of Transportation, no, to have the procurement of 50 million and above through the central BAC of the DOTR, no. So that was issued po January 25, no, and during that time LTO has no active procurement, no. So inabot po siya nung aming special order, no. And we requested LTO to submit to us the terms of reference, no. So January 25 po yung aming special order, no. Nung January 31 we issued a memorandum to LTO to submit to us the terms of reference, no, so that the central back of DOTR can conduct the procurement, no. Unfortunately po, sabi nila hindi pa sila ready, no. So we gave them a deadline of February 15, no. And hindi pa rin po nila na-submit yung terms of reference, no. And it was only in February 28, no, 2023 that they submitted, no, a one-page PPMP or Project Procurement Management Plan, no. So yun po and na-submit po nila sa amin yung terms of reference March 21, 2023, no. Kaya po doon pa lang nag-start, ibig sabihin that's the only time that LTO is ready to start the procurement, no. Kasi po kung ready na sila, dapat as early as January when we requested them to submit the terms of reference, dapat naibigay na nila yan sa Central Bids and Awards Committee of the OTR, no. So
Okay,
yun po ang
Mr. President,